Hello, Kirsti Patterson here from Forever Body Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a little wake up stretchy morning flow. So some things that might be useful for you are your yoga mat, and if you've got them, a yoga brick or two. If not, you could use cushions as your alternative. To make sure you don't miss future flows, hit the bell and subscribe to the Forever Body Yoga channel so you always know when the latest flows are coming your way. I'll meet you at the top of the mat. Let's get ready. We're going to be starting in a cross-legged position, and that's where your yoga brick could be really handy. So that could go under your seat, and if you've got that extra one nearby, have that on hand as well. So we have the yoga brick under the seat, thinking about both sit bones sitting on that. We want even pressure across both. So that takes some of the pressure out of the hip flexors if you're tight at all through your hip flexors. Ideally having the knees in line with the hips, or a little bit lower if that's right for you. If it's not comfortable, sit in a kneeling position, or you might be on a chair. So we're just going to do a little side stretch here to start with, and that's where our yoga brick is handy. Because we're sitting on one, we want the other one by that hip on the right hand side. So we can have that hand planted on that brick for some extra height. And as you're here, take a big breath in, hand on the front of the pelvis, feeling that breath into that hand, and big exhale, thinking about drawing up through the pelvic floor. We'll do one more of those, so big breath in, feeling those ribs expand at the same time, big breath out, lifting up through that pelvic floor. So we've got that right hand then on that brick, keeping that connection to that breath. We're going to bring that left arm up to the sky, thinking about reaching through the left shoulder blade, out the left armpit, and reaching up, up, up. Now we're going to take a little lean to our right hand side, but keep pushing down with that right hand. So we're not collapsing here, we're staying active. So we're reaching up and over, finding space in the left hand side of the body without collapsing in that right hand side. Thinking about space between those ribs, expanding the height from the base of the rib cage to the top of the pelvis, creating more space around that left armpit, around that left shoulder blade. The left hand coming back down. We'll switch the brick to the left hand side, just inside that left hip, with the left hand reaching on that, taking a big breath in. The right arm will come up, reaching for the sky. Growing out that right hand side, so expanding from the right pelvis to the base of the rib cage, expanding up through each rib, out the right shoulder blade, the armpit reaching up through the arm. Now we're going to take a little lean to the left hand side, so we're coming up and over, and again not collapsing to make that space, but rising up on both sides. Thinking about that deep breath in here. Rib cage expands and exhale. We can take that brick to the side now, and maybe we'll use that later. We can bring the hands into center in prayer, and we want the thumbs against the center of the chest, against our sternum. We're thinking about keeping those fingers and the chin in line with each other. So keep pressing into those hands to help wake up the chest and create some space around the back. So take a big breath in here. Exhale, twisting to your left, keeping those fingers in line with the chin and the thumbs on the sternum. So this is an active twist because we're not pushing or cranking with the hands and the arms. Another inhale here. Exhale, see if you can twist a little bit further. So we're using the muscles in our center to drive this movement. And come back to center. Big breath in here. Exhale, twisting to the right. Thinking about long spine, keeping both those sit bones connected to your brick here, not lifting on the left. Big breath in again. Exhale, twisting a little bit more to the right, thinking about chin in line with those fingertips, thumbs staying on the sternum. And coming back to center. We can bring the hands onto the thighs here, and we're just going to do a little stretch for that neck, which can get a little bit cranky if we've slept funny. So big breath in, exhale, bringing the left ear down towards the left shoulder. So we often think about our neck in circular movements, but it's actually left, right, front, back. So we want to avoid those circular motions. And coming back to center, bring the ear down to the right. Creating space on the left side of the neck this time. Back to center. We can bring the chin towards the chest. And thinking about keeping the spine long, so we don't want to involve the upper spine in this. It's really that neck driving that movement. Drawing the chin towards the chest, opening and lengthening the back of the neck. That can get short, really short. That's from like looking at our phones, looking at tablets, jarring the head forward, looking at laptop screens. And bring that up. We can do a little backwards movement. So again, thinking about keeping the spine long, it's just the neck that's moving, so we don't want that chest to get involved. And coming back to center. So we've opened up that side body, rotated that spine, done a little bit of moving, twisting and reaching now. So we want to incorporate those hips. So coming off our brick, placing that to the side, we'll come down onto our backs, doing a little twist for the spine here. So we're going to have those arms stretched out. If you know you've got quite a mobile spine, it might actually be helpful for your body to have your hands on the rib cage where you can feel those little ribs popping at that top there. So we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Take a big breath in, keeping the knees close to the chest. We're going to let the knees come over to the left hand side. Keep them really high. Maybe that right arm can reach away from you. If that's uncomfortable, through the underarm, through those pecs, you could bring the hand to the shoulder. So right hand to the right shoulder. So I've got my left hand on my center here at those ribs, checking that there's still a little bit of activation and support there. I'm not totally flopping. So my right shoulder blade isn't coming onto the mat because I'm active. When I turn that off, I can totally stretch out. We want to stay active and supported. So thinking about drawing in, imagine you've got a corset wrapped around you. Big breaths in here. Big breaths out. We can bring the knees back to center. You could outstretch the arms again. Or maybe left hand to the left armpit, right hand onto the base of those ribs. Knees staying close to the chest. Bring the knees over to the right hand side, staying active. Little click in the back, opening up. Maybe the left arm can come away. Maybe the left hand stays against the left shoulder joint. Do what's right for your body. Remembering that each side can be different. I'm still drawn in the center here. Big breath in, the knees can come to center. From here, we're going to roll up. You can always push yourself up. We're going to spin around onto all fours. So we'll just do a little child's pose, which is a great stretch for opening up that back line of the body. So we're all going to have different amounts of space in our bodies. So you might want to take a cushion or a yoga brick between the calves and the thighs. And you also might want a cushion or a yoga brick again for the forehead to come towards, and that can take any setting depending on your body. So from here, the seat can come back. Maybe it comes towards the feet, maybe it is resting on those bricks. If you can handle an active child's pose at this time, the arms can be stretched out in front. See where the head comes to. Each day is different. I'm going to use a brick under my forehead today. Breathing in here. Maybe you can turn the palms up to the sky. Helps to open up some tight shoulders. If this isn't comfortable for you, you could always have the hands by the shoulders, or maybe your hands reach back behind you. Do whatever option is good, whatever option is right for your body.
Remember, there's no middle. Just do what's good for you. Breathing in here into the back of the ribs. That's where our lungs are at their longest. If your head is resting on a brick, lifting that up, taking it to the side. And now we're going to keep the seat where it is and let the hands walk towards the left hand side. And again, we're opening up that left side body. And see if you can push that right hip away. So left hands are planted, opening up the right side body, pushing that right hip away. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Walking the hands back to center. Hands come over to the right hand side, pushing into that left hip again. Finding space through that left underarm. Big breaths in here. Big breaths out. Walking those hands back to center. Then walk the hands towards the knees. Tuck those toes. We're going to be coming up, so if you have any ankle issues, this may be one that you want to skip. Lifting the knees off the mat, walking the hands back towards the feet. So we're in a squishy little ball here now. Maybe you can bring your heels down. Maybe you can't, there's no middle again. You could bring the hands to the chest, thinking about long spines. Whichever option you've taken, thinking about rising up with a long spine. Big one for the legs there. Coming to the top of the mat, hands beside you, neutral pelvis. So that means even weight on both sides. Maybe placing one hand on the front, one hand on the back. Seeing if you can feel that you're kind of falling out the front or maybe hanging in the back. You want to rise up strong from that pelvis. Then thinking about the sacrum, scapula, your shoulder blades, and the back of the skull being in one line on the back there. And take a couple of steps with this really strong, stable line in your body coming to the top of your mat. And that's your morning opening flow for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Please click subscribe if you did, so you can keep getting those videos when they're released straight to your inbox. Be the first to know. Thank you so much for joining. Comment below with any feedback you have. I'd love to hear from you. See you later.